Hi everyone. First time going live. Happy New Year to you. All right. So I'm just gonna wait for everybody to come in. In the meantime, I'm gonna fix my my lighting somehow. Maybe I should move my ring light from this side to the other. So that's good. Sorry if it's noisy. Hopefully that is okay. You can see my gift paper there. Yes. So how was everybody's Christmas? Yes. Hope you had a good Christmas. I know I had a good Christmas, a good vacation. I know it seems like school opened pretty quickly, but that's how it is sometimes. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask them. Today we're just gonna keep it, a nice little Q&A. See if we have any questions. Any parents have any questions, concerns about preschool, about school, about motivation, keeping your child motivated. Um, chores and that sort of thing, you can ask your questions in the comments, of course. So, yeah, so I hope everyone is doing well. And imagine that we're in 2023. I just have to keep remembering it's 2023 instead of 2022. Right? For those of you who don't know, my name is Auntie Shade, and it's so nice to be on here live for the first time and just hanging out with everybody. So it's nice. It's nice. I'm enjoying the new year so far. Things are pretty quiet. Let me just post that I'm live now. I really don't know how this thing goes, but hopefully it works. And if anything, you could just watch the replay. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. How do I? How do I? All right. Yes, friends, so we are live. So I'm just going to go through some things that I have here that we could probably go through um, in terms of, having some stuff home that you could reinforce what your child has been learning in preschool. Of course, it would be the days of the week and the months of the year. So hopefully you can see this here. I just have a nice, bright, good, bold print of the months of the year and, of course, the days of the week. And what I normally do with these, what you can do with these is just cut them out and you can stick them on some Bristol board just to make them firm. And you can use some of your clear tape just to make it a little more resistant, like waterproof or whatever, just to make it a bit more sturdy so you can go through the months of the year and the days of the week with your child. And these things are important because we're getting in the habit of recognizing words. Now, we're not going to be reading or off the bat, but these are where some of the things start, right? So once they start to recognize that this word is January, they'll be able to recognize the letters, at least the letter, the capital letter that they begin with. And of course, if you reinforcing the spelling of those words every day, it is really helpful. Before you know it, your children will be able to read. And there's something that we do in preschool as well is just we tend to label stuff around the preschool. So like the chair, table, you'd see the words there so they can walk around and recognize, you know, what this word is, associate the word with the item. Now, if you want, you can do that at home as well, but it is not necessary. But if you want to reinforce like some early reading skills, you can do that. So that's one of the ways that you can really help your child along in terms of learning how to read or starting to recognize words and letters, of course. So they may not be able to recognize the whole word January, but they might be able to recognize some of the letters in them. So you could start with just pointing out, hey, this is the capital letter J, capital J, capital F, capital M, and that's how you go along with it. So these are some things you could do simply. If you have a printer at home, you can print them out. Or if not, you can just do it on your computer or even on your phone and go to the internet cafe and print it out. You don't necessarily need to print it even. You can just get yourself a nice marker and you can write it nicely and make that and have it up there for your child to have to be able to recognize certain words, certain letters. Of course, one of the main things is that they can recognize their name. So you can, well, of course, they would have that in preschool as well, where they would spell their name on a daily basis. And those things really do help your children to recognize letters and, of course, recognize their name eventually. So those are some of the building blocks and the foundation of reading and learning how to read and recognize letters. So, for example, what you would do now when you're teaching your child's name, of course you would start with writing it really bold. So for example, I write my name and then you just write it as neatly and as clearly as you can, and you write your letters there so that the child can see their name spelled out and go through identifying each letter. Right? And then of course you'll have your name tag put aside there, and they could see that. I'm not sure if you can see that. Yes, so you have your name written, and they can go ahead and look at it and you know get on board with that. So they have the letters there that you can look at and remember their names. Now, in terms of like early writing, now you're not going to be able to write overnight. But one thing that is important to remember, especially when your child is learning to write, is allow them to be able to trace on their own. Yes, you can guide them by holding their hand in the beginning, but you don't want to make a habit of that. You want them to be able to manipulate their hands and form the letters, trace along the letters. So, like I was saying, with the months of the year, you can do that by just even writing out their name, covering this with some clear tape or the clear um, plastic, the sticky adhesive clear plastic. You can do that with this, and you can get, instead of a marker, you can get a whiteboard marker, so that they can in turn trace over the letters and try and get the letters right. So while they're spelling their name, they can also practice what the letters and the shapes of the letters um, are, and practice writing their name, right? Now, writing is our entire process. It takes some time. When you're learning to write, of course, the beginning stages of that is really tracing, right? And tracing is really, really important. Um, it helps the children, as I was saying, helps them to be able to follow along with the curves and the lines of each letter in the alphabet. And that is what helps them. Now, there's no set time that your child could take to learn how to write or even read, because it is a process and it really is based on the child. Now, that is where repetition comes in. And a lot of times in preschool, repetition is key. That is how they learn. Because from in my experience, we do tracing every day, and then you would have that one day that the child is like looking like they could handle the trace, and they trace their letters pretty quickly, and you try them out with writing it on their own just below, and then that's when the aha moment happens, and then you have them writing, or at least writing on their own, and that is something really, really nice to witness. So that's the process of how writing goes for young children, especially. Now, parents, though, don't get too, you know, strict about this, because remember, this is the first time they're learning, and this is the first time they're having experience with writing. Yes, of course, you want them to be able to excel, but this is the time, this is the foundation, this is the building block. So you don't want to be too um, rigid about it, because you want your child to be excited about reading. You want them to be excited about writing. When they see a book, they're supposed to be excited about, oh, I can't wait to read this book. It shouldn't be a chore. And especially at this age, like preschool age, reading should be fun. So that's why we tend to stress in school that we learn through fun. And the main thing about that is the motivation for most children to want to learn and to want to study, right? So if they're excited about reading a book with you, you could animate the characters, make your voice, change up your voice and make the story exciting. And that way you get them excited about reading. And once you get them excited about reading, you're able to, motivate them to want to read and to pick up a book on their own, even if they can't identify all the words, or they're just reading it from memory. That's a good thing as well, because eventually they'll be able to point at each word. So that's one of the good things you can do when you're reading with your child. You can point out some of the letters, or some of the words, I should say, and that really motivates them to really want to be able to recognize some words. Mhm. And of course, I want to hear from you, and I'm hoping you're all having a good New Year. I hope everybody went to school today. If not, that's okay. You will have your reasons, of course. How was the first day of school? You know, comment down below. Even if you're late to the live stream, comment down below how was the first day of school for your child. Yeah, and let us know. Yeah. I think this is the first time in a long time, excuse my squeaky chair, that I've seen school open in the middle of the week, basically. Yeah. I know it tends to be on a Monday, but it's Tuesday this week, and that's interesting. So, how was school? Did you have most of the children turning out to school? I know sometimes you might have children that won't come to school the first week of school, and they might come the next week of school. So how is that? How was school for everyone? I'm just looking at the seeing if there are any questions, and just editing my little stream here to see what I'm doing. I've never been live, but this is really interesting. Um, yeah, just seeing where everything is, the buttons and all of that. This is interesting. I wonder if in the future I could probably research that and try and go live on Instagram as well and on Facebook, but we will see how that goes. I'm trying to share it to Facebook. Let's see how that goes. Okay, I think I did it. Yeah. Yeah. So my chair is super squeaky, so if I move around you would hear it. So please excuse the little squeaky noise. And let me just check if I can go live on Instagram. Oh, can't even. Da, 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 da. Alright, I think I could do it from my phone. I think you can live stream from here. No, you can't. Um, hmm. Okay, let me try it from my phone. Yeah, let me try it from my phone. So I'm live streaming here. Let's see how this goes. Yeah. Yeah, so I thought I would just come on live and just see how everybody's doing, see how the first day of school was. I have some birds around me flying past. I don't know if you could hear it. Um, Let me see if I can remember how to go live on Instagram. Geek, 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 geek. Yeah, I don't even remember how to go live. Goodness gracious. All right. Well, I guess this. I got it. Okay. All right. All right. So we just going live on Instagram as well. We've been live on YouTube for a little while. So you feel free to type your little questions and whatever you have in the comments. We're just talking casually. We're just having a little chit chat for the new year. It's my first time going live, especially on YouTube. And we're just chatting about, motivation that's, you know, for preschool and having a child being excited about school, excited about reading, excited about writing. So that's one of the main things. Yeah. All right. So we've been live for like 20 minutes on YouTube and probably like 2 minutes on Instagram. All right. So if you have any questions, you could put them down below. Of course, if you're watching this on the replay, you could comment as well. I'll be able to answer some of your questions. As long as I see it, I'm gonna respond. Yeah, so it's going to be a nice, fun, little laid back thing. Our first live for the year. Just seeing how everything is going, seeing how everybody's doing. Um, how is school? How was your first day of school? How was your first day back? Did your child enjoy school? Hi to e-learners too that just joined. Hi, welcome to the live stream. We're just having a little chit chat, catching up for the new year, getting to see how the first day of school was. And if you have any questions, you can also just type it down below. We're just having a little chit chat a lot about reading, writing, things that you can do to help motivate your child to excel. So yeah, so I was sharing with my YouTube friends and seeing as we just have some friends joining us on Instagram. Um, I was just explaining how it's nice to have some little printouts that you can reinforce the days of the week and the months of the year with your child at home. And of course, a nice thing to do is spell it out. So I know sometimes you might see me spelling it out, especially on Trini Kids TV. Those things are important because you help your child to be able to identify the letters of the days of the week and the months of the year. And those are some of the building blocks to reading and writing. All right. So we're going to get there eventually. And of course, one good thing to have is um, you can make it at home once you have a nice little marker. Write out your child's name in nice big letters so they can recognize their name and they can spell it with you on a regular basis. So that is one thing that would really, really help your child. So those are some of the things that you could do. Now, what I found is really good too, especially to keep your child excited, especially about maybe some chores or sharing and different things like that, especially if they have other siblings, is to create a nice chart. And they can get a sticker every time they share or every time they, help and be kind to others. So those are some of the ways you could reward good behavior and encourage it to continue. All right. So that is basically some of the main things that we wanted to cover today. And it's just really kind of um, just a relaxed little session that we could just have a little talk um, just to see how everybody is doing. If you have any concerns about, your child or helping your child have a good outlook on learning, I know that is important, especially at this age, the really young preschool age, because um, the motivation for them to do anything is really having fun. And that's why we tend to, you know, teach in a fun way so that even while they're enjoying themselves, they still take away something from it. So there's a lot of singing, there's lots of, activity, moving around, craft, and those sort of things. So you'd see the importance of that because children enjoy craft, they enjoy singing, they enjoy dancing. And that is one thing and one way you could motivate your child to really excel. So that is that is that is why it's so important in preschool. Now, as a parent, you may not understand the reasoning behind it, but of course, it is vitally important. It really does help your child to get excited about learning, get excited about, you know, the alphabet and reading and spelling and letters and numbers. So it's really good. Right. So I'm not going to stay on here very long. I probably might stay for 4 minutes more and just like answer your questions. Now, of course, if you're watching this on the replay, you can go ahead and ask your questions. It's fine. I would get to them and try and respond to them the best that I can. Um, but yeah, that's those some of the things that I really wanted to hear about and hear about how the turnout was in school today. Those of you that um, sent your children to school, you know, how did you notice the turnout was? So, we tend to see more children in the second week of school. But some children tend to come out as soon as school opens. I know that some parents are really strict about that, and then some parents may not be as strict about it. It really depends on the parent. Um, and of course, feel free to type any comments where you're watching from. I know we have lots of Trini subscribers. Um, Go ahead and type, even if you're watching on the repeat, where you're from, where you're watching from, and so that we know all of our friends that are watching. So yeah. So I think, yes, this has been a good, nice little chat. And thank you so much, everybody, for coming on and saying hi. Of course, if you're watching on repeat, be sure to like, share, subscribe. All the links are in the description box below, the links to all the social media, links to YouTube, the links to Facebook, as well as Instagram. Look out, make sure you subscribe and you put on your notifications so that you can see when we post anything new. We have lots of new things coming out, especially in the new year, new stuff. So I hope you continue the journey with us and that you are enjoying it so far. Have a happy new year to everyone. And of course, I'll see you next time. Bye, everyone. Bye. Thanks for joining. Thanks for joining. All right. Bye, everyone. It's been nice.